Welcome back, people, to another edition of Uncle Fred's Rants. I am your host here. Uncle Fred, what's going on, man?
Man, what's good, man? Just loving life, man. What about yourself?
I can't call it, man. Everything's pretty well for the most part. So, here
Good to
today,
hear. Good to
yes,
hear.
sir, yes, sir. Here today, man, we got NFL Week 3 pick'ems. I'm not gonna toot my own horn about last week, but toot. Did pretty well, if I must say so myself.
Look, man, I can't keep being 8-8, man. I feel like I'm Jason Garrett.
Yikes.
I feel like I'm Jason Garrett, man.
Shots
Maybe
fired.
8-8, man.
Shots fired. Well, yeah, I mean, 8-8 is better than a losing record. You know, I think I got the better end of that last week. So hopefully, man.
All right, dude. You 11-5. Chill out.
The competitive edge. Yeah. Let's get some competitive juice going, man. Let's go ahead and get started right here. So we got Carolina at Houston. I'll get us started. I got Carolina. I like what they have going on both sides of the ball. Looking for C-Mac to get involved a lot in this game. Looking for a lot from DJ Moore on the outside as well, especially against questionable cornerback play from Houston. And on the other side of the spectrum, Davis Mills gets his first start. He's a rookie. We already know there's going to be a lot of trial and error with that. Veteran-laden team, so I expect them to compete, but ultimately I do have Carolina at the end of the day. What about you?
Yeah, I feel the same way, TK. Generally, a solid defense, especially a defense that's got what I call, Carolina's got like good defensive line guys. Like they got good up front push. And I feel like that with a rookie quarterback is like a bad mix, man. That's like,
Yeah.
And so, and I'm looking for Christian McCaffrey to do what he always do. Give you about 85, 95, and 100 yards rushing, probably 65 yards receiving. Kind of an all-around game, do some of that stuff. I kind of expect Sam Darnold to continue to be. He's showing a lot more poise than he did when he was with Gang Green. But like you said, Houston got. I mean, for a team that's supposed to be a bad team, they got a lot of vets on that team. Obviously Tyrod's down, but they still got Brandon Cooks and. And there's some other guys, some other pros on that team. Merciless. It's a lot of vets on that team. That's why they're going to make games a little closer than anything. But I still got Carolina winning by about 14.
Okay.
A couple of touchdowns.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that. That's a big line, but we'll see. All right. I mean, that's that on that. We both have Carolina. Next up, we got Washington at. I wouldn't call a score on I don't know, 27-17, something like that.
You got Houston, right?
Absolutely not.
Trying to slip that L on you.
Nah, man, I don't see that happening.
So 27-17?
Sure, yeah.
Okay. I got 20-10.
Cool. All right, there it is. Next up, we got Washington at Buffalo. I'm going with Josh Allen here at home. Bills Mafia, stand up.
No surprise there.
Of course, I'm on the bandwagon, on the Josh Allen bandwagon.
Josh Allen fan club.
Yep, I like that bounce back last week. Yeah. I expect that trend to continue upward. I've spoken about it before. Taylor Heineke really impressed me last week. Just looked real poised. They put the ball in his hand a lot. So that being said, I'm interested to see if that Bills defense can rattle him a little bit, force him into some mistakes that he avoided last week, and we know their defense will compete. But I'm going with Buffalo. I'll go ahead and give you a score ahead, 24-17. Close game.
Close game. Win by one score. Okay, well, yeah, this is a tough one because I can't. Both of these teams, I think they're what I would call pretty good. They got aspirations to do some things. Probably more so the Bills, but the Reds, Washington football team. There are a lot of there are some. They got dibs of thinking they're going to get the division again. They ain't getting it though. But,
We'll see.
So I mean, whoever loses this game is going to be 1-2, and going to be looking kind of, I just think the Bills are just too good. I know Washington's got a good defense. With that front line, I got the Bills. I got the Bills. They're playing in the Orchard Park. So I got the Bills. 28-17.
28-17. All right. Yeah, let's move forward, man. Chicago at Cleveland. Justin Fields gets his first start on the road in Cleveland. Cleveland looking pretty optimistic for Cleveland. They're going to get Odell back and active for the first time this season, which, if Jarvis Landry is indeed out, then they'll definitely need Odell on the outside. So that's good news for them. I'm going with Cleveland here. Justin Fields, this is his first start. I still expect the training wheels to be on that offense and sort of give him a vanilla playbook and just make him feel comfortable as much as possible. Unfortunately, I don't expect Myles Garrett to make him feel comfortable much at all. So with that being said, yeah, I have to go Cleveland here. I expect Chubb to be able to run the ball pretty well too. So I'll say 30-17.
Think they're gonna score points like that? We'll see. Yeah. Justin Fields first start. Stout defensive line, like you said, with Myles Garrett and Jadavion on the other side. I would look for them to apply pressure against a not that great of offensive line from the Bears. I think they're adequate, but they're definitely not one of the better lines. Like you said, they're probably going to give him a very vanilla playbook. They're probably going to run the ball quite a bit with David Montgomery. What's the kid's name that was playing in Kansas City that took a year off? Williams.
Mm-hmm.
I think they'll run the ball quite a bit and kind of put him in a lot of third and manageables and things like that, kind of keep it simple. And I think Chicago's defense, which is kind of underrated, they kind of known, for their defense. I think they'll keep it close. And as you said, Cleveland's got some injuries. We don't know if Odell's going to be back. We know Jarvis is there. And I think Baker got dinged in the last game, too, if I'm not mistaken. Check me on that.
I still think he's going to be active, though, for this week.
Yeah, he's going to play. Yeah. I'm just saying that, those things kind of make a factor. I got Cleveland winning. I just think it might be a little closer than you guys. I got Cleveland 24, and I got the Chicago Bears 20.
Okay. That's pretty solid.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So next up, we got Baltimore at Detroit. You know what it is on my end. My guy had to pick against him last week, and he made me pay. So and I'm not mad about it. That's my guy. I'm rolling with it. Big trust. Lamar Jackson. I expect him to run wild in this one. Expect those backs that they're integrating into the offense to get a little more comfortable in this game. With all due respect to Detroit, I just don't think they match up with Baltimore. on either side of the ball pretty well. So I do expect the Ravens to score a lot. I'll say 35, and I'll give Detroit 20. I want to see more improvement from the Ravens secondary. I know it's dinged up, and they're going to miss Marcus Peters all season long, and that is what it is. But Jared Goff, I think he has the ability, as we saw last Monday night, to push the ball down the field. So I do expect some success, but ultimately they won't be able to match up with Lamar in that offense. So that's what I got. What about yourself?
Yeah, I got Baltimore in this game. Sometimes you can tell a lot about a team as much as you in a loss as you can tell about a win and wins. And I know the lines kind of got. And if you saw the score, you would think they got housed last Monday. But if you really was watching the game, they had the lead at halftime and really controlled the game in the first half.
Sure did.
They was playing hard, man. They got that Dan Campbell's got them guys playing hard.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they just don't have the talent level to hang with a team like Green Bay. It kind of showed in the second half, and they weren't able to hold on. So I look for them to compete in this game. But Baltimore, just even in their depleted state, I still think has a significant amount more talent than Detroit. And I think Lamar has a couple of dazzling runs, but I think Jared Goff maybe gets a couple. What's the kid's name? Hockenson. That's a bad dude, man. That's one of the better tight ends in the game. So I look for them to maybe score a couple times, but I got Baltimore winning, man. I got Baltimore winning 27, probably 17.
All right. One thing of note as well to add on to that before we move forward, patchwork secondary for the Lions. So here's
no Jeff Okuda, and the other kid, one of the other kids is gone too.
Yeah. So here's an opportunity for Lamar to take some chances on the outside with Sammy Watkins and Hollywood Brown. And, could be a game where you boost the confidence of your receiving core. So keep that in mind. Next up, we got Indianapolis at Tennessee. You know where I'm going with this one. Once again, in the same way with the Ravens, for the Titans, I picked against them, hoping to reverse jinx them. I say it worked, but I won't pick against my team this week at all. Carson Wentz. Yeah. Carson Wentz most likely won't be in the lineup this Sunday, so that means Jacob Eason will be in the lineup, and I like Tennessee's chances at home with those circumstances. Don't see Indianapolis pushing the ball and scoring a lot of points, though the Titans secondary through 2 weeks has been abysmal, and I have to be honest about that. Tyler Lockett having a literal field day with the secondary last week wasn't really encouraging. Scoring touchdowns and nobody's around him. I don't know what that's about.
Nobody in the shot but him.
Nobody's in the camera shot but him. That's not a good thing.
No, I get it all.
I don't, to be honest, expect Jacob Eason and the receivers they have on the outside to take advantage of that as much this week, which is why I can't really see them being as competitive enough to win on the road. But I'll give you a score, man. I'll say the Titans 31, in Indy 13. That's where I'm at with that, man.
Yeah. This divisional clash, man, and these divisional games sometimes go cockeyed on you because the teams kind of know each other real well. But I think the caveat in this game is that the Colts are going to have, from all indications that I've been given, Jacob Eason starting, as you said. instead of Carson Wentz. So, no veteran quarterbacking. I know Tennessee's defense has kind of left a lot to be desired, especially in the secondary. I don't think Indianapolis has the weapons available to them to take advantage of that. Like Michael Pittman's nice. He's all right. Those no T.Y. And what's the other kid's name? Pascal. That's got a couple other guys I've seen or whatever. They're pretty good, but they're not elite by any stretch of the imagination. So I look for Derrick Henry to eat, man.
Yeah.
I think he felt some kind of way about that game against Arizona and came back on last week, and I think he's like, look, I'm ready to reestablish myself as that dude.
Indeed,
right?
indeed, I agree. I have to agree.
So I look for them to feed him, and then when they bite on that, I look for them to go up top to Julio and or AJ Brown when they bite, because they're going to have to bring that safety down to deal with Mr. Henry or King Henry. Excuse me. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Address him with
they got to bring that safety down and come deal with that dude. That's just all there is to it. And then when they do that play fake, and you can't, nobody's guarding Julio or AJ one-on-one. Okay, nobody's doing that. So I got the Titans.
Yeah, well, AJ's gonna have to make sure he ain't a self-check this week. Put a lot of balls on the ground last week.
Yeah.
Uncharacteristically. Just sad to say, I absolutely don't expect him to be that, but I gotta say it from what happened last week. But
analysis, man, he did.
Yeah,
he let it all down a couple times.
I expect AJ to maybe even more so than Julio. I expect AJ to get behind the safety a few times this week. He's going to be looking to redeem himself in a divisional rivalry. I got the Titans going away. You do as well. So let's move forward. We got a
36-14 is what I got.
36-14. There it is. We got a goodie. The Los Angeles Chargers at the Kansas City Chiefs.
Who take the lead on this one?
You got it.
Look, man. I know Pat Patton heard all the stuff about last week. That was kind of frivolous what he did. Now, he even got away with that a lot of times. Never thought he'd do that in the fourth quarter. I guess they do the 11-point game at the time. But, and I think the Chargers gonna pay for that. Don't look for them to be putting the ball in Clyde Edwards-Hilaire's hand no more either. A lot of times I think Andy Reid has a record like after a loss, he's like some absurd number and like 2 or 3, like 30 something and 2 or 3 or something like that. I don't know the exact number, but he has some absurd number after a loss. Usually good coaches usually button down all the things that's loose and all that sort of stuff and kind of get you to focus. And the Chargers are already Chargers. The Chiefs are a veteran team, so. But what does give me pause though, that Kansas City defense is leaky, man. But however, I think they're more leaky against the run because they got exposed last week because the Ravens ran for 251 on them. I don't think the Chargers have the horses in order to gouge them like that. But
no.
Justin Herbert's he's a dude now. He's a dude. I got Kansas City. I got Kansas City 31, and I got the Chargers 20.
All right. For me, man, this is let me say this. The LA Chargers have shown in recent past, and I expect that trend to continue this season and beyond, especially with a young franchise quarterback now in tow. They're not afraid of the Kansas City Chiefs, and they embrace the challenge of meeting up with those guys 2 times a year. They've shown that. I think this is much more of a mirror match than some people may realize. I don't expect Kansas City to just run away with this game at all. I expect I expect the Chargers to compete, man. There's no way, there's no way I'm betting against Patty Mahomes. Even against my own better judgment last week, I still just couldn't do it. And I can't do it here, but there's no way in my mind Kansas City rolls over the Chargers. If I stand corrected, then so be it. But I expect them to compete. They have weapons on the outside. They have just like Tyreek Hill has the ability to always be open. So does Keenan Allen. Different ways they go about it with different results, but always effective on both ends. Um, I expect Herbert to make big plays over the top. He's got a big body receiver, and Mike Williams, just like Patty has a big body tight end, and Travis Kelce. So on the back end, you've got the Honey Badger, and you've got Derwin James. You got Joey Bosa on the edge. You got Frank Clark on the edge. So I look at this game and I'm like, this is much more of a mirror match than people may realize. So I don't really see a blowout here. All that jazz being said, 38-33, Kansas City Chiefs.
You got a close, high-scoring game.
Oh yeah.
Maybe 33.
I see a lot of scoring in this game. It's gonna be a fun one. It's gonna be a fun game. There's 2 games, maybe 3 on this week 3 card. I'm like, these games are gonna be high scoring and fun, even if it's uncharacteristic for the defenses. It's just one of those kind of matchups to me.
Right.
So this is one of them.
Yeah, I see that being fun. Must watch TV there. So anytime that's playing, it's must watch TV.
For sure.
Must watch TV. Who's playing?
All right.
All right, let's go.
Next up, we got the New Orleans Saints at the New England Patriots. If I gotta get it started, man, it's gonna be I'm gonna deviate away from the Saints this week. I'm gonna go with the safe route. Bill Belichick at home. He'll protect Mac Jones. He'll put Mac Jones in good spots to get rid of the ball quickly against that, fearsome defensive front line for the New Orleans Saints. Don't expect too many mistakes from Mac Jones to compromise the win. So with that in mind, I gotta feel like 20-17. 20-17. I got the Patriots.
17. You got the Pats.
Yep.
20-17. I look for the Saints to kind of have a good game this week. They kind of wet the bed last week against the Cardinals, against the Panthers. And I mean, James had a real poor showing. They just looked completely out of sync pretty much the whole. I think they had a bunch of continuity issues too. I think they had a bunch of coaches and stuff that was out. And there was a bunch of things that was going on last week. So not looking for excuses or anything like that. But I know one thing: you're going to be playing Bill Belichick in his building. You better have all your I's dotted and your T's crossed. So I don't look for Jameis to play as badly last week. Sean Payton will have him schemed up. Well, he'll have a pretty good outing, but in the end, I think the Patriots won a close game. I got them winning 23-20.
Okay. Fair enough. Next up, Atlanta at the New York Giants. Don't have much commentary for this game. Two disappointing teams. Not just from 2 games in, the result just kind of, it's kind of one of those games here where, even the team that wins, I don't really know how much I'm taking from that.
Okay.
Because you're competing against one another. So, because of that, it's a toss up to me as well because of that. So I'll just go with the home team and feel like the Giants somehow squeak this one out. 23-20, man.
Both of these teams are 0-2. They've been a disappointment. But I will say that at least the Giants were competitive in both the games they was in. They lost. Very easily could have won that game against the Washington football team. Very easily could have won that game. Falcons have been close in no game they've been in. Okay. I thought about maybe calling off the blank, let him know the season just started. Maybe they hit the snooze button one time for me or something. They didn't know the season had started already. They may not have known. You know what I'm saying, man? So yeah, I think the Giants winning too. I think Danny Dimes gets a couple of touchdown passes. Maybe Saquon gets a touchdown. I got them winning 27-14.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I got the Giants scoring some points in this game because Atlanta hasn't looked so big they can stop anything. I got the Giants winning that 27-14.
All right, Cincinnati at Pittsburgh. This is going to be a tricky one because I really want to pick the Bengals.
This one got upset written all over it, man.
And maybe I'll let you lead on this one, and maybe by the time you're done, you talk me into Cincinnati. So I'll let you lead on this one.
Here's the thing, man, and we don't know. I haven't seen any reports lately to change. I know that they're gonna be Cincinnati. The Steelers gonna be down at least 2 defenders. I think Joe Hayden might play, but I'm not sure that TJ's gonna play. He's got a groin injury that's kind of lingering. He's young, but groin injuries are lingering. And I think Devin Bush had a groin injury as well. He didn't play last week's game, and TJ left in the second quarter. That being said, that makes a very formidable defense kind of just a little better than average now. You got guys coming in that aren't as good as the guys were playing in front of them. And then I've heard this week with the Steelers also on the offense that Ben's got some sort of pectoral thing going on. So he's going to be limited. Now, he hasn't really shown a lot of arm strength in the last year and a half anyway. So a compromise or a limited Ben Roethlisberger and a less than formidable defense. And I think Cincinnati might be trying to show that last year was not a fluke. I think I'm gonna pull for the upset this week against my better judgment. I'm feeling upset. I got the Bengals 23 and the Steelers 20.
Okay. You did convince me, but for the sake of competitive spirits, I'm going the other way with it.
Okay.
I'll go with the home team. I'll say 24-23.
Close.
Somehow they just edge and get out of there with the win, but I would not be surprised at all if Cincy goes ahead and get the upset in this one. Next up, we got Arizona at Jacksonville. I got Kyler Murray going wild in Jacksonville, Florida. They're not going to like him by the time the game is over. 41-17. 41-20. Let me scratch that. 41-20.
Get that late field goal. Okay.
Sure, yeah.
I ain't got a whole lot to add to that on that one, TK. I think the Arizona Cardinals are playing some good football right now. They did get pushed around a little bit last week by the Vikings, but the Vikings are a good team, though. They're a good team, and they've got offensive firepower and weapons, so they're going to score against anybody they play. So they're going to score. So I don't really hold that against them in that regard. But yeah, I just think they just got too much for Jacksonville. Kyler Murray is playing MVP type football, and he got weapons all around him. And Jacksonville really it's almost like you got top. You got what's the kid's name? Trevor Lawrence with a bunch of practice squad players almost, man. So I got Arizona 31 and Jacksonville 10.
Yeah, I'm gonna, just for records and housekeeping, I'm gonna put a little more respect on the names of that Jacksonville offense. They do have some legit guys down there, like a DJ Shark,
Shark is nice.
LaVisca Chenault,
and Marvin Jones too, right?
Marvin Jones, a vet. So I gotta put some more respect on those guys. I think they have a talented receiving core, just hasn't gelled yet. Look, and it shouldn't gel that fast with a rookie quarterback. So, but definitely talented. Just it's just everybody's not supposed to win all the time. It's not everybody's time all the time, and it's not Jacksonville's time right now. But bringing in a vet like Marvin Jones to be around those young receivers who do have talent, it's a process, man. It's a process for them.
Definitely is.
Travis Etienne as well. He's down there. So they have the skill position talent. It's just you got to develop it and coach it up and give it time. That's so. All that being said, none of that is going to help them chase around that little speed demon. So it's going to be a long night for them, or a long afternoon, I should say. So next up, we got the New York Jets at the Denver Broncos. Give me the Broncos and the points.
Okay, what you got?
Yeah, you name it, man. Teddy Bridgewater threw for a lot of yards last week. He stepped out of his game manager, jacket and put on a playmaker hat for a Sunday. So I expect more of the same in this one. Get that Tim Patrick, Cortland Sutton, Noah Fant. Man, get them guys going. Get Javonte Williams out in space, out of the backfield. Get Melvin Gordon, a couple of carries to keep his confidence high. Let's get KJ Hamler in space. Man, let's score a lot of points against the Jets, and let's turn over Zach Wilson a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's exactly what's going to happen, man. You start naming off some guys, you start thinking to yourself, man, the Broncos have talent.
They do.
Yeah, that's a talented football team. So, I look for Teddy to do what he's been doing. Teddy's playing remarkably this year, and I thought that he would, because he's one of those guys. I mean, he's not going to wow you with the end-to-end, arm strength from one end of the field to the other, but he's accurate. He don't make mistakes. Not going to turn the football over for you. And I've always thought in the last couple of years, Denver had a good enough team that they had a quarterback that wasn't turning it over 3-4 times a game. They could have won some of those games. They've been 7-9, 8-8 and stuff, and they just needed a quarterback to kind of come in and kind of just be, be an adult in the room. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of come in and just not turn the ball over, get stuck in and out of the right plays. And I think Teddy's done that. And so, I look for the Broncos to win, going away, because I don't know really what the Jets have got. So I got the Broncos 35, and I got the Jets 14.
All right.
What was your score?
32-10. We'll call it that.
That was more on the same thing.
Next up, we got the Miami Dolphins at the Las Vegas Raiders. I got the Las Vegas Raiders in this one. The wacky Raiders strike again. Derek Carr strikes again. Jacoby Brissett's on the other side this week. Miami still has a well-rounded team, so they'll compete. And Jacoby Brissett is a vet, so he'll come out and he'll manage the game, but they aren't going to win this one.
Yeah.
It is the Henry Ruggs Jalen Waddle Bowl. I like that. I like that.
Reunion, it's kind of a reunion, if you will, huh?
Yeah, well, Josh Jacobs as well.
Yeah, Josh Jacobs. Yeah,
so yeah,
that's true. Kenyon Drake. Yeah, he played for the Raiders, so it's like they have a reunion. But one of them guys is going home mad. So.
The guy in Miami. Yeah. They're not winning this game.
Wow.
I got the Raiders. You know, they're in that new stadium. They're gonna wow the crowd. They're gonna thrill the wheel. 31-14, man. 14.
All right, you pretty much hit the nail on the head on this one, TK. Dolphins got a lot of things going on, but they are a fundamentally sound team.
Yeah.
Got good defensive personnel, good coaching. So I think they will compete, but not at the Death Star. You know, that's what the Raiders. That's what that's their thing, the Death Star. That's you're not winning there. So the Raiders, Derek Carr is playing unbelievably so far this year. Getting all the guys involved. Getting Ruggs involved. Waller's gonna get about 15 targets. He gonna find Waller.
Of course.
So I look for a team like Miami to maybe take Waller away from them because Flores is off the Bill Belichick tree. So whatever you do best, they're gonna try to make you play left-handed. But I think the Raiders have some other weapons. And I don't know what Josh Jacobs' status is for that game. But I look for them to kind of get some of these other guys involved in it. Brian Edwards, maybe. Go dude. Brian Edwards and then my guy Hunter Renfrow. That's my guy right there. That's my guy right there. I like me some Hunter Renfrow. He caught the winning touchdown in the championship game in 16. But I'm not gonna harp on that. Good route runner. And he just always seems to be open. Don't know what he does, but so I look for him. I look for them to find those guys underneath, and I look for them to win. The Raiders to win. So I look for the Raiders to win something like. I'm not gonna go as high scoring as you. I'm gonna say 24-17.
All right. Sounds good, man. Moving forward, here's one of the doozies. Tampa Bay at the Los Angeles Rams. As you know, I am on the Rams bandwagon as well as Josh Allen's bandwagon, as well as Patty Mahomes and Lamar Jackson's bandwagon, and the Raiders, throwing the Raiders. I got my picks this season, but the Rams are one of them. They're at home. It's gonna be a fun game. It's Tampa time on the other side. They're evenly matched, in my opinion. There's just talent all over the field. This is a great, great matchup. I want it to be as fun as Patrick Mahomes versus Jared Goff on Monday Night Football a couple of years back. I want it to be one of those kind of games, man, where it's just a lot of fireworks. I'm hoping this game can match that kind of energy. I'm going 35-30 Rams.
Yeah, these are the type of games that you like. You got something to do. You kind of like get all that stuff done so you can come home and watch this one in the afternoon.
Yeah,
this is one of those type of games because you got the defending champs with Tom Brady, and then you got the upstart, if you want to call them, Los Angeles Rams with newcomer Matt Stafford, but all of the bells and whistles they got and the wizardry of Sean McVay. I think with that guy, with the cannon that guy has, like you said before, McVay can actually go to the back page of the playbook. He don't have to stay in chapter one. Okay, he can go all the way to the back page of the playbook and execute plays that he might have not even would have attempted with Jared Goff. And I'm not no disrespect to Jared Goff, but sometimes players are just who they are. They got certain players have certain limitations. But when it comes to arm strength, and ball placement, and things of that nature, there's things that Matt Stafford can do that Jared Goff just can't do. Okay, let's just put that out there. So that allows McVay to have access to the full playbook and all. He just let the thing fly. So that's what I think is going to happen. I think Tampa Bay is going to come in. They're down one wide receiver. I think Antonio Brown won't play.
Looking like.
Right, he won't play, so that is significant. Antonio Brown is a mismatch.
Very significant.
Against anybody.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a mismatch. That kid, he gets open quicker than anybody that I've ever seen. He just open, and then he's just he's not coverable. He's so quick and sharp with his cuts on his routes and stuff, and then he catches everything that's thrown his way. So. Remember what he did in Pittsburgh? I thought he was the best wide receiver in football when he was playing there. So I look for that's a big loss for them. So I look for them to, with Tom Brady's smarts and his command of the offense. I mean, you still got Godwin, you still got Mike Evans. Maybe Scotty Miller gets some run. He'll get behind somebody. That kid got speed too. So I look for that, but I look for the Rams with their defense, and I look for Jalen Ramsey to lock down one of them guys. He's locking down one of them. Just I don't know which one he's going.
I think he'll be on Mike for the majority of the game, especially with AB, probably out of this game.
Right.
There's less likelihood Jalen will have to slide into the slot and cover him if he gets hot. So that's good for the Rams.
Right.
I also expect Jalen to slide over there and guard Gronk in space.
Especially he ain't scared of nobody though.
Well, especially once you get into those tight situations. Once you get into the red zone type of areas, it's tighter spaces and windows, and that's where Gronk thrives. And
right, especially that red zone.
Yeah, you want to put your best shot up against him.
Right.
So I think Jalen gets a little work over there, gets most of his work over on Mike. Aaron Donald's he's got an interesting matchup because that center for Tampa, man, he's a feisty dude. I forget his name. So I don't even want to butcher his name, but he's a
Marquette. That's the name.
He's a feisty dude, man. That's going to be a nice hand fight all day in the trenches between those two. So, I mean, you went one way, I went the other way. It's going to be a fun game. So,
I ain't got Tampa Bay.
Oh, okay. You did pick the Rams?
No, I ain't saying no.
Oh, okay. I thought you were headed towards picking the Bucks.
No.
Okay, got you.
I got the Rams.
Okay, cool.
I got the Rams 31, and I got the Bucks 27.
Okay. All right, there it is.
I got the Rams, man.
All right. So we got Seattle at Minnesota. I'm going with
desperation bowl here, man.
Yep, I'm going with Minnesota. They're desperate. They really need it. They're at home. I don't know why, other than I feel like because they're desperate, they can't go 0-3. At least that's how their mentality should be going into Sunday. So I expect them. Seattle showed last week with the Titans. Minnesota's going to be able to move the ball against that defense, and that bodes well for them at home. Anytime, they can stretch the field, it'll open up stuff for Dalvin Cook to get going. So I'm calling a win for them at home, and they need it. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll give you a score. I'll go ahead and throw my score up there. 27-23. Minnesota gets the win.
Yeah. This game, this is a head scratcher for me because I don't know really which way I really want to go on this one because I feel like these are two quality football teams.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at like I was telling you, I was watching a replay of the Arizona Vikings game maybe Tuesday of this week, whatever day that was on, and I was just looking. I said, man, the Vikings have some good players, man. Kendricks. That's one of the better linebackers in the league, and then they got Pat Pete and I mean, there's some of the linemen and some are like Pro Bowlers and stuff. And then you got Dalvin Cook and Jefferson and Thielen. What's the other Osborne?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they got some players, man. So I can't see them as a team being 0-3. I just that's too good a team to be 0-3. When you look at the personnel that's on that team.
You would think so.
And it's same token, Seattle is a quality team with probably a top 3 or 4 quarterback with Russell Wilson, and you got your 2 good wide receivers, and I think they're kind of running it by committee in the backfield, and then you got Jamal Adams on defense and some other guys, and that's a quality unit, and they really can't go 1-2 in the division area.
Right.
And, that's one of the best divisions, if not the best division in football. It would be very difficult to recover from being 1-2 in the division area, and everybody's kind of like running off and leaving them. So I'm kind of left in a quandary here of who to pick. But I think I'll go with the more desperate team because I think Minnesota really needs to get this win. So I'm going to go with you, TK, on this. I'm going to go Minnesota. I'm going to go Minnesota 24, Seattle 20.
Got it. All right. Last but certainly not least, this was my third big one right here.
Yeah.
Green Bay at San Fran. I'm going with Aaron Rodgers on the road. Yep, that's what I'm doing. So, 28-24. Green Bay.
Okay. You know me. You know me. And a lot of the foolishness Aaron Rodgers is doing don't stick with me too good. You know that, right? You know that, right?
Of course.
Okay. But that's a bad dude, though. I can't. That cannot be denied.
Yes.
Some of those throws he made last week. Even though Detroit was playing him about as well as you could, a couple of them throws he dropped them things right down the chimney, man. It's like if you had your eyes closed, you catching that. That's how well thrown it was. You understand what I'm saying? I'm trying to paint a picture here.
Yeah, I got
how
you.
well that one he threw to. I want to say. Was it? Is that 50-yarder that he threw to? What's his name? You know his name. You don't mean Devontae. If he'd have had his eyes closed, he'd have caught that.
Mm-hmm.
So, but my thing with Green Bay is that they always seem to be lacking in the along the lines of, and I think San Francisco I think will exploit that. So I think San Francisco is going to be able to move the football in between the tackles, and I think they're going to be able to on defense stop them from doing the same thing. But I think Aaron Rodgers has a good game, but I think up front they get manhandled like they kind of do every time they play the 49ers. The 49ers are very stout on line of scrimmage, and they got just enough weapons to kind of keep you at bay. So I got the 49ers 31, and I got the Packers 28. I think it's a great game though. Okay. I think it's a great game.
I would agree. And that's going to conclude us, man. We're going to do a separate video, of course, to preview your Dallas Cowboys, who are in action Monday night. So we'll get to that, and we'll get that posted separately. And I'll go ahead and give you my pick 'em. I do have Dallas getting this win at home. I would hope you feel the same. So yeah, so we're on the same page with that one. So we got our tallies. You got the tallies down. We'll revisit them when we do our pick 'em recap, and that's gonna conclude this one, man. It's gonna be a good football Sunday. Looking forward to seeing what we got right and what we got wrong.
That's it, man. I'm going 14-2, man.
There it is. All right, man. So, good video, man. I appreciate the viewership. Appreciate you, Uncle Fred's Rant. We're going to get out of here. Peace.